Hey guys, welcome to practice. We are up to practice 25 in my book, 100 Mindfulness Meditations. And this one is called Welcoming the Inner Sage. It's actually the last practice that we're doing in the subject of mind. So this is an interesting one. We've talked about intentional thoughts. We've talked about free thoughts. We've talked about the inner critic. So now we're introducing this idea of the inner sage. And the inner sage I describe in my book this way. The inner sage speaks from a place of wisdom and intuitive knowing. Her voice is quiet, gentle, and calm. As the inner sage rarely shouts, in order to hear her, you have to get really quiet within. So in this practice, practice 25, what we're going to do is we're going to drop into our usual practice, and then we're going to bring to mind a current question or challenge that you're kind of working with. And then we're going to bring some quiet, spacious awareness and listening to it. And we're going to invite the energy of the inner sage to come forward. So don't worry if nothing miraculous or you hear a really clear voice. It's probably not going to happen. What we're really looking to tune into is a sense of wisdom and knowing that's deep within the body. It may even feel like it's in the bones. And just listening, getting so quiet to the body, listening to that interior aspect of self, that we might get a sense. It might be a felt sense, it may have words to it, it may not, it just may be images, it might be a feeling, thoughts might bubble up. Just going to check in, give it some space and see what arises. All right, so we're going to treat this as an experiment, and I'd love to hear how it goes in your comments on the videos. So if you're ready, we're going to drop into practice. So if you're in a place where it's appropriate, just allow the gaze to soften and the eyes to close. If not, keep your eyes open, that's fine. And just rest in a position that's comfortable. Sitting, even if you're standing, can still work. So just drop in with presence, ground yourself. And wherever you are, just bring your attention to the breath, to the sensations of the nostrils, sensations of breath moving over skin as the air enters the nostrils. And just following that first delicious, conscious breath into the body. And all we're doing is breathing in, knowing that we're breathing in, noticing the felt sensations of the inhale in the body. Remembering the body, breathing the breath, noticing the breath, breathing the body. Just allowing that breath to drop all the way down through the body to the feet. Making its own path through the body. Bringing a sense of energy, a sense of awareness and attention. A sense of love even. These moments within our mindfulness practice are really tender, intimate moments with ourselves. Just allowing that to be part of your experience to the degree that you can. And if you can't, that's okay, being gentle with that also. Remembering that if at any time our experience feels too much or challenging, we can return to the felt sensations of the feet on the floor, the body resting on its seat. And just dropping in, bringing to mind perhaps a question, a challenge that you might be facing, but maybe not choosing the biggest challenge of your day or your life, but just something that's juicy enough to chew on today. Let's not challenge ourselves too much on our first attempt, but if we come back to this practice, maybe we can bring more challenging issues and questions to it. But if it's your first time, just bringing a medium-sized challenge or question, something you feel comfortable holding today that feels safe, that feels okay to contemplate. And as you bring the question to mind, we're just going to give it some spaciousness and drop in to the knowing of the body, to the knowing of the inner sage. Giving yourself permission to know, to connect with your knowing, to connect with a sense and vibration of what is true in your body, being, and life. And so it's here that we practice listening and patience, and not being attached to there being an outcome or there being an answer, but just allowing the spaciousness and the practice of listening to be enough. And if a voice or feeling or sense of the inner sage is present within you, just listen to that. Adopting an attitude of appreciation and gratitude for the inner sage, for yourself, for opening to the inner sage, and for yourself for showing up for practice. The only success measure of practice is whether you showed up. And as we listen, we maybe allow ourselves to give some words to our experience, whether there was nothing or something. Name it. Give it some words. Describe what was there. If there was nothing there, can you describe the nothingness? If there was something there, and if it feels okay to stay with it, what words can you put to it? And if there was a sense of knowing, just breathe that into the body, breathe that into the cells. And in your very own time, just following the next exhale up and out through the nostrils. Remembering the sense of gravity pushing the body down to the floor, to our seat. And in your own time, allowing the eyes to reopen. So thank you for joining me in practice. I really hope that was an interesting practice for you. I'd love to hear your comments, and I'll see you next week. Bye.